This is Live to Tell. What is that about? Which is going to be footage of us sitting here just watching Emily.
See, when Emily was like really into the design of this, there were like cricket noises during us just.
It's true. She's on to bigger and better things.
She's like, I'm out. I hate this shit.
That's exactly it. She said it. She walked out the door and that was it.
Have you ever said that?
I mean, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, probably in life. What are we talking about this week?
So first, for Fantastic, we're talking about Nike and the Women's World Cup.
Okay.
I can give more detail if that would help. So basically, Nike was like, I guess, the sole sponsor, and their entire engagement during it, they jumped like 51.3% like share of voice over the last 30 days. So basically, Nike being involved was a huge payoff. I'm sure they paid
for Nike. Well, they also had the Colin Kaepernick advice on not releasing a shoe that then skyrocketed in value. Yeah, they got a lot of good stuff going on as a company.
They still have Tiger, right?
Maybe.
I think so.
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, what can brands learn from Nike?
A lot.
Just do it.
Okay, moving on. You're like, no, I have more things.
I'm sure there's something. I mean, they spend a lot of money. So clearly you spend a lot of money, you get a lot more market share.
Right. Yeah. I guess it's a good example. Like this, I was talking with Maddie about it, who hosted last week. Like the Super Bowl and stuff, there's so many different companies that are going to get that attention because you're pulled in a whole bunch of different directions.
Yeah.
I mean,
smart. Yeah. Well, and look, the timing of what team won.
Right.
Like if Team USA wasn't as great.
Yeah.
I told Jagger, my 7-year-old, that USA won. He goes, "That's great."
Cute.
I went back to playing his game.
It's like, yeah, I had no other interest.
Yep.
Oh man.
Cool. Celebrity.
Cool. Celebrity. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
No.
Me neither.
But I know who the guy is.
I was like, yeah, we're the perfect people to talk about this.
I went to a play
with Bryan Cranston.
With Bryan Cranston by myself.
Huh.
Because Sharon's flight, my wife. I'm now name dropping my family. What's up?
Lennon's the only one left.
I haven't. No, Lennon has not been name dropped yet, but now he has.
Now he has.
I went on set at his play by myself.
Was it good?
It was weird to go to a play by. Have you ever gone to play by yourself?
No, I'm like so not a person that can do things solo.
I rode solo. It was tough. Anyway, so Bryan Cranston. He's a celebrity?
And Aaron Paul. So they're launching a Mezcal that's called Dos Hombres. They were the two guys in Breaking Bad.
I thought Aaron Paul was a YouTuber.
No. Logan Paul is a YouTuber.
Hold on. So what are they launching?
A Mezcal.
What's a Mezcal?
I wish that we had that face like in reaction.
It's like a smokier tequila. It's really good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good for them. Jump on the bandwagon.
They might as well.
Cyndi Lauper's husband, Randy Gerber?
That's not Cyndi. Did you say Cyndi Lauper?
Sidney Crawford.
Yeah. I was like...
and George Clooney, right? Did they create is it a Mezcal or was it just a tequila?
Justin Timberlake has a tequila too. Is that like the new thing? I'm not a tequila person, so sorry.
Do you know who is a tequila person?
Who?
Matt.
He is. I should have known the answer.
Viewer number 2.
That's right.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Cash money.
Cash money.
So we used to talk about this a lot too on the 8 back in the day, but the federal minimum wage, raising that to $15. So obviously it's been a huge debate. Companies like Amazon and Target are joined on board, but there are a lot of restaurant brands that aren't doing it because there's this new study from the Congressional Budget Office that kind of details the impact of what that would do. And they're saying that if minimum wage was jumped to 15, it would eliminate about 1.3 million jobs by 2025.
Brutal.
Yeah.
My opinion will never matter. So let me put that.
Well, you don't know that.
Politically, it won't matter.
That's fair. But you're allowed to have it.
I believe that minimum wage should be higher, but I believe it should be an exchange. It shouldn't just be natural. So if here's how you solve the problem.
Okay.
If we increase minimum wage to $15 for restaurant brands, then rules around just quitting without notice or contracts, there's got to be like a give and take. So that part of the reason it would cost so much is because you would invest so much in the onboarding of an employee. And given that $15, the level of employee is different. $15 an hour equals on full time is $30,000 a year. So it's a different level of employee. So what does the business get in exchange for that? It is what it is. Businesses pay people who do better work more money. That's the way that it works. So but in exchange for better work, someone gets paid more, or that's any form of business.
Would you argue then that it would be more cost effective for them to instead just hire part-time employees for say $15,000 a year and have them salaried, or does that just become a nightmare with like people that roll? I've never worked at a restaurant.
It's a great point.
I don't know.
There's another law around salaries. It's too complex.
Yeah.
I think part of the challenge is you're letting states operate. Now, federal minimum wage makes sense. So if you're going to do federal minimum wage, then I would do federal job regulations so that there's a consistency so we can figure out what the best practice is. I think anytime these ideas are created, I think the intentions are in the right place. Any political idea, whether that's a change in healthcare or it's a change in the way that we evaluate who can get married. Like the intentions are always good, but you have to look at the greater effect and impact of any decision that's happening.
Right.
You could take the marriage argument. And the reason there's zero reason why that should have taken as long as it did, but it was because the discussions could never happen because the way that the church set the rules, it is what it is. If you can't have an open discussion of the impact on both sides, an impact of the church saying that you cannot get married based on what sex you have to be man and woman. Then because that was a set in stone opinion, those that were arguing against it couldn't have it. So I'm using that as an example of when an opinion was so set in stone. Now all the chipping off the block has gotten us into a place where we're in a better place, not globally, not completely globally, but locally in some places we are. Yeah. But you take the minimum wage debate, it's the same thing. Businesses are set in stone for a reason. Understand the reason so that you can start figuring out what the argument is. I feel like I went too deep there, but it wasn't bad intentions.
No. All right. We're forward thinking now.
I already did.
Do you want to just move right along?
No.
Have you ever watched Stranger Things on Netflix?
A few. Have you?
I didn't watch this new season. I watched the first couple. I don't really feel a need to watch the third season of it. I feel like it's just like overhyped. People were excited because they were like kids that knew how to act. And like people were like nostalgic for like, I don't know, when is it? The 70s, the 80s? 80s.
I like the dude that looks like Schwarber.
That's a Cubs player, right?
Yeah.
Kyle.
The little kid. You're telling me he couldn't play baby Kyle Schwarber? Whatever, Emily.
Basically. So like Microsoft is like hopping on the whole like nostalgia bandwagon of it. And they're basically doing like a PC app that has like a Stranger Things video game on it that like brings back like really OG technology and like Paint and Microsoft Write, and like they're gonna do like different Stranger Things themed coding workshops for kids, which I think is cute, but it's like we have all this technology and you're gonna try to beat Apple with Microsoft One. And Microsoft, you missed the boat. You could have hired Brian Jager because he is a Microsoft Paint enthusiast. He is phenomenal in Microsoft. There's a shout out to Brian. Brian, feels like no other. If you can spot the hidden shout out, which is now 12 minutes in, you win. Luck. You win a prize. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Friend. Foe. It's friend of the environment, foe of probably a lot of kids. So there are these two like British school kids that they learn. This is cute though. They learned about pollution in school, and then they started a petition to eliminate like Happy Meal toys and for McDonald's and Burger King because it's like plastic waste. And so it literally it's a Change.org petition that has like over 300,000 signatures, which is cute for these little kids. But like, I don't know. You have kids. Are they worth it? The little like toy things.
No.
Of course they're not worth
No.
it. But like, is it worth the entertainment of a kid shutting up in the car for 5 seconds?
No, because it's not that. It's shoving the French fries in their mouth.
Well, yeah,
So
no
it's
kidding.
worse. Forget about that. Let's talk about obesity.
Okay, well,
Why do you think I was fat as a kid?
you're gonna blame McDonald's?
Hell yeah. I was on that $5 diet. Whatever I could eat for $5, and I manipulated that system. If I could get 5 Happy Meals back in the day when they were $1,
Yeah.
I would get 5 Happy Meals. That's 5 burgers, 5 fries, 5 drinks, and then you could get Coke. Now I don't know that you can with a Happy Meal.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think
that
that
the regulations.
yes, environmental concern. In my opinion, I think environmental concerns are bigger than that, and I think we're actually making good progress in what Tesla is doing and these lack of emissions. And I actually heard an interesting story on NPR the other day in a taxi that there are companies in Europe that are figuring out a way to take the waste. CO something, whatever the bad thing,
CO2,
carbon,
whatever. I don't know.
that comes out of the cars are taking it and turning it into ways to create different types of energy or solutions.
That's cool.
So I think it's good that the discussion is present on what are we doing to our world. It might not be my lifetime that we have dangers. It could be my children. It could be my children's children or your children's children.
I hope it's not me. I'm not built to survive.
I'm not
Armageddon.
There it is. We got the quote of the week. I hope it's not me. I'm not built to survive Armageddon. Armageddon had nothing to do with the environment.
Okay,
Armageddon had everything
whatever.
to do with this meteor that was coming.
No, and actually what you could argue if you wanted to get is that oil actually saved the world in Armageddon because they sent a drill team up to fix it. Bye. I didn't mean it, I promise.
Yeah, great.
Okay. Your column this week.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Okay. So this column is about your trip to Burn Boot Camp and your pancake eating contest.
Oh yeah. I've been watching for the podcast to come out. Yeah, I wrote about a lot of lessons that I learned in a day. I flew to Charlotte to hang out with our friends at Burn Boot Camp. And so, some expected, not completely, but I had to go through a burn class and I pushed my body pretty hard. I was worked after that. And then I proceeded to go do a eating contest with the CEO and founder of Burn, Devin Klein, who we've had on our podcast. And I burned the root of my mouth by putting Hot Famous Toastery pancakes in my mouth immediately when they came out.
I can't believe you lost. I didn't realize that you lost.
Well, I had a 3rd-degree burn. Like, oh god, I can feel where it was. I mean, it was it was awful. And the only shot I had at winning was to take my cup of water and pour it on the pancakes.
Hot dog contest eating style.
In a rematch, I would crush Devin, but it was a good experience. So I wrote about some lessons that I learned on the day. So hope you enjoyed it.
It was a good one.
By the way, because I didn't get to talk about my column last week,
Oh yeah, I gave like a weird summary of it. I hope it was semi-accurate.
I found the Bill Buckner dying fascinating because you're judged for a singular moment, not for the history of your life. And it's unfortunate that us as humans judge so much, and me included. It's not like I'm innocent from this, but
Everyone judges.
yeah. Same with the burn thing. The interesting thing about the burn thing, and you can read the column, but I found it like interesting that community, like everybody's high-fiving each other. The judgment is gone. So it's interesting to lead from the Bill Buckner column to the burn column. But yeah,
check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Thanks for all of you who spent some time watching this.
Thanks,
Hopefully you found a good headline that was valuable. Peace.
Bye.
Drop the mic. Pour one out for our homies.